Authority usually isn't taken from people, it's surrendered in small moments. Moments when clarity is there, but the decision doesn't follow. Welcome to the authority practice. When when people think about losing their authority, they imagine something dramatic like being controlled, manipulated, overpowered. Um, but most people don't lose authority like that. They lose it quietly in the small decisions they make, in moments where they already know what they want, what they need, and what they see. And yet they still move against it. Self authority doesn't collapse all at once, it erodes. So this usually isn't something that happens to you, it's something that happens through patterns that can show up as small moments of self betrayal. Not the big ones, they're like the really small ones. Saying saying yes when you really mean no. Staying quiet when you need to speak. Ignoring something you already know, or like waiting for permission when you don't actually need it. But every time you do that, something shifts and you just start to trust yourself a little less. So, in my experience, there are three main ways this happens, but not all at once, but over time. And if you can see these, you can start to catch yourself in real time. The first way people lose their authority is by ignoring calm signals, because clarity is usually not loud. It's not emotional, it's not dramatic, it's simple. It sounds like, I don't think this is right for me, or I don't actually want to do this. I think I'm staying too long, or just something just feels off. That's it. That's calm clarity. And because it's calm, people ignore it um, out of unconsciously behaviors and waiting for something louder or chaotic, like a bigger reason, a bigger conflict, a bigger problem that justifies your emotions, or justify what you're feeling. And most likely, unknowingly, most likely the body would keep a score. You might feel tightness in your chest, or hesitation, sort of you're hesitant about something, or a lack of enthusiasm. And by the time it gets really loud, everything that you were thinking is even more complicated. So this is the first leak: ignoring the quiet clarity you already had. And so later I'll explain what to do when you receive it. And so the second pattern would be justifying misalignment. This you At this point you see something isn't right. You can see it. But instead of acting on it, you start explaining it away. Oh, it's not that bad. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Um, they're just busy. Um, I need to be more patient. Oh, this job pays well. Or like, just things will get better. Or you could be in fear of causing or being the reason or the cause of conflict. It sounds reasonable, it sounds mature, and internally it sounds understanding. But a lot of time, this is the moment right before self-betrayal because you're not confused. You're convincing you're convincing yourself not to act on what you already know. The third way would be outsourcing decisions. This one, yeah, outsourcing decisions. I jokingly think of it as a third party verification. Just imagine getting someone else's opinion of something you feel and trust within yourself, but someone who don't know you to the core, and you don't trust what's internal, yet you get validation outside of yourself. This goes for friends, parents, therapists, tarot readers, and no offense to those naturally gifted, because it is a gift, but you already know what you want to do. Yet you keep asking people what they think, and it's not just for perspective, but for permission. That's when it becomes a problem. You're looking for permission to make a move. You're looking for validation, and you're looking for confirmation on what you feel internally, what you already feel. And slowly, that clarity starts to matter less than their opinion. Like listening to people, that isn't the issue. Getting perspective is not the problem. Authority means you can listen to others' input, but the decision is still yours. The decision is still yours. So, if you really look at these patterns, they all have one thing in common, and the clarity is there. It exists. But you've allowed something else to win, whether that's comfort, other people, or you're avoiding disruption. And every time that happens, your self trust weakens. Not because you can't trust yourself, but because you keep proving that you won't. So don't try to fix everything. Just start noticing. Notice what you already know when you already know something, but you keep asking anyway. Notice when you avoid a decision because it's uncomfortable. Notice when you stay in something just to keep the peace, that's where your authority is leaking. And you can't rebuild it until you see it, you notice it, you recognize, you acknowledge what is. Again, self authority isn't lost in just this one big moment, it's lost in small moments. So you use these small moments to recognize what you already know, and you use it to rebuild it the same way you lost it. And small moments where your decisions start matching your awareness. And because self trust doesn't come from thinking, it comes from evidence. You already know it's evident, it's proven. Evidence that when you see something clearly, you respond to it. You don't ignore it. You don't outsource it. You don't justify it. You see something clearly and you respond to it. Authority isn't taken, it is surrendered. This is the work of self authority, and this is the authority practice.